Jonathan, everyone's favorite sun-breathing, vampire brother-having, speedwagon-loving aristocrat who also died 9 episodes into his own series. He's also pretty cool in this game. Jonathan Hamon is a fairly good ability that I think goes unappreciated in AUT, considering it has some mean combos, and it's also pretty simple to pick up and play. The main reason I think this is because its obtainment isn't exactly something you'll come across without looking for. First you have to obtain base Hamon, an already out-of-the-way ability that's pretty monotonous to get, and then you have to do the Jonathan questline. I really hope you like killing NPCs with an ability so subpar it isn't even playable outside of main game. Anyway, getting sidetracked, I've wanted to make a review of this for a couple weeks, but I decided to wait until the October update so I wouldn't be out of date immediately after uploading. Fortunately, they changed very little. Before I get into changes, let's get into the moveset, how it plays, and how it gets shut down. It's important to note that Jonathan and the other Hamon abilities have the unique property of pre-combat rework M1s. They are true unto each other and have enough stun to confirm a majority of their moves in their moveset, unless otherwise stated. This makes M1 trades with a Hamon user extremely dangerous, so most people are going to try and space you out. Holding Q allows you to rapidly gain meter and works as an effective way to maintain your heat while dealing with people trying to space you out. Holding or tapping E will perform a barrage that is both true out of and into M1s by letting go early, and functions as your main stall tool during combos that lets your cooldowns blow off some steam. The damage isn't high, but the stun is enough to keep the combo going for quite some time. Tapping R will do a heavy punch that has some damage over time fire effects. This move has armor and works well as a get off me tool. Do note that the fire damage can be countered, so avoid using this against GER or King Crimson. Holding R will slam your hand into the ground, imbuing your surroundings with Hamon for a short while. This works as a punish and combo starter against any move that doesn't knock you down, and is usually a safer bet in close range than you counter. This move also uses a third of your meter, but you're likely to get all that from the ensuing combo anyway. T is your zoom punch, a good catch against people throwing out short range moves like barrages, and also your main B&B extender. With careful timing, you can combo into and out of M1s, but you cannot mash or the string won't reset. Y is Bull Rush, a very strange move. After a long windup, you will charge forward, hitting anything in front of you for a bit of damage. This move block breaks, but it's also parryable, meaning it isn't viable against skilled players. This is pretty much Jonathan's only way to close distance, meaning if someone can parry it or teleport out of the way, things will go south from there. G is Sunlight Yellow Overdrive, your beatdown. This doesn't have armor, nor does it confirm out of M1s, so this is strictly a block break or parry punish. There is actually some tech that allows you to confirm it out of M1s though. Combo as usual, but only land the initial stun of Overdrive Barrage. The timing is tight, but you can confirm the beatdown off of that. It's incredibly inefficient and does less damage than your normal combo, but if you really want the style points, be my guest. H is Righteous Fury. It's your combo finisher, it does good damage, and it confirms out of M1s. What do you want? Z is your moveset toggle instead of Q. It pulls out your sword. It is epic. Enjoy it. B is your counter. It isn't frame 1, and it doesn't combo extend, it knockdowns. You can catch unprepared players on get up with Sendo if they don't have a counter or don't spam their armor. Important to note that the rest of the moves are from the sword moveset. Your M1s now have increased windup as well as heavily increased range. Turns out a long sword will do that. E is the only move in Jonathan's kit that was changed in a major way in the recent update, making it entirely worthless. It still combos out of M1s, but it doesn't combo into them anymore. The weirdest thing about this is that it still does more damage than the next move, your supposed combo finisher. Tapping R does sword stab. You stab with your sword. It has armor and it works pretty similar to Scarlet Overdrive. I'd say it was the intended combo finisher if E didn't do more damage for some weird reason. Holding R allows you to do a much more powerful but not true finisher, which is really only used for when you're trying to beat out your enemy in a battle of whose armor ends first, because god, the armor lasts forever. Okay. While writing the script for this video and testing the moves, I discovered that this is true out of M1s. Why has this never worked in main game before? I think this might be a low ping thing. You guys try it out and let me know if it's consistent enough to be considered true, because before, I wasn't sure. Tangent aside. T is your other distance closer, but much worse. A large hitbox, but it is parryable, and it moves way slower than Bull Rush. It's a fantastic combo extender if you can nail the timing, but outside of that, it has very little use. Y is Luck and Pluck, your most reliable B&B tool with the sword active. It combos into and out of M1s, it's Zoom Punch but with easier timing. Mashing M1s works here. Alright, you know what we've been waiting for. G is the worst move in the entire game. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Ripple Infusion. For the same cost of your counter and Sendo Overdrive, you can stand still for several seconds without armor before doing a single blockable knockdown strike for 29 damage. This combos out of nothing and into nothing. If you get hit by this, you suck. There's no way around it. This is the worst move in the entire game. There's nothing worse. H is Metal Silver Overdrive, which isn't very good. It's a combo finisher, but it isn't true out of M1s, nor does it have armor. It does less damage than Purification, the hold R move, but it also requires twice as much meter. It pierces armor, I guess, since it's a grab, but Purification block breaks, so what is this doing here? Alright, that was a lot, but here's the playstyle, what you were probably waiting for. Neutral is Jonathan's worst aspect, so you have to be extremely careful getting in. Most abilities in the game outrange you, so you need to be ready to counter or parry when necessary. Attempt bull rush when in mid-range, and counter projectiles to pull them to you. If your enemy parries the bull rush, feel free to leave, because you aren't winning that fight. If you're fighting a spec that likes to stay in, like Star Platinum of the World or what have you, the fun begins. Your neutral gameplay will boil down to parrying or countering projectiles, using bull rush to get in if your enemy runs away, and trying to hook enemies in with either M1 strings or punishes like Sendo or Fencing Guard. What you do next will heavily depend on what situation you're in. Jonathan is a very flowcharty ability, meaning that each action you take will have an action that comes after. Let's say you land a string of M1s. Is Zoom Punch on cooldown? If no, use it. If yes, use your barrage. If the last answer was no, try to land the M1 string or play it safe directly into the barrage. If the last answer was yes, land your 3 M1s. Is Zoom Punch still on cooldown? I hope that was enough of a demonstration, because I actually tried making a flowchart of this before realizing that it both isn't reasonable to put a flowchart that big into a YouTube video since most of the text will be too small to read, but it also is extremely time consuming. There's a reason I go on multiple month hiatuses, and it's trying to bite off projects that are just too big to see to completion. Your default combo without the sword would be 3 M1s, Zoom Punch, 3 M1s, Barrage, 3 M1s, and Righteous Fury. With the sword, it'll be Fencing Guard, 3 M1s, Luck and Pluck, 3 M1s, Purification. If you think the enemy's ping is bad enough, you can attempt to use Fencing Guard as a combo extender out of M1s, but the timing is extremely tight and I can't get it to work the majority of the time. It's theoretically true, but it only adds 10 extra damage or so, and the effort required isn't really worth it if your enemy can punish it. I really wanted to make this video since pretty much everything on YouTube about this thing was just people's first reactions when it was added a few months ago, but as someone who's just finding it much later, I don't see why it goes so unused. Its mechanics feel fair and it has consistent counterplay, but I barely see other Jonathans in main game, let alone 1v1s. It isn't optimal in waves considering it doesn't have a heal and only really one good AoE move, but aside from that, why doesn't anybody use this spec anywhere? And with that, this marks the end of my review. Feel free to click off from here, but save outro as my Blood Doctor review from TC2. There's going to be more to say about the channel and about me. The rest of this is going to be all in one take, so if I fuck it up, it is what it is. This game's fun. There are some things I wish had changed, like the Trello not being several months outdated at this point, but other than that, I wouldn't be against making another review like this. So if the video does well, expect to see more since I have most of the abilities in the game at this point. Regarding SCP Secret Lab, I have the game I'm sure nobody here cares about. I'm working on a clip compilation for that. I have 17 or so hours of footage on my hard drive, and I'm not sure where to begin. I started passively recording, so I catch funny things when they happen. But I don't write down where, so I just have 17 individual hour-long recordings, and this video is either never going to happen, or I'm going to scrap it and restart. Using a different software, especially to like clip when interesting things happen. If you guys have any recommendations for like software for that, let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.